Hello and welcome to today's session. Thank you for coming back, Christopher. Great to see you again. Just waiting for my account to kick in. Hasn't quite processed yet, so it takes, I guess, maybe a little longer than 5 or 10 minutes. So just waiting for that to actually come through. But while we wait for that, what I'm going to do is, Christopher, did you see the shorts with the pre-market analysis? I've started running the pre-market analysis in a short rather than the live session because most people don't necessarily make it. And then that way, everyone that comes to the live session can see the actual analysis all in one hit, usually less than 3 minutes. Sorry about that, guys. Got a bit going on here. I'll just share that shorts. It should play during that live session. If I had an account, I would have ideally been long off this Bollinger Band. Obviously concerned that it could come down, but it looks like it's just a buy situation. And yeah, probably going to come up and hit that close. Might turn around a little bit, so just be aware of the fade of the gap. It could happen a couple of points beforehand. So let's say, look, it might even be early, but you know, we should go a little higher than this, hopefully. So we might get some rejections off the close and then potentially off the pivot if we get all the way up there. So just watch out for that. Good little move here, though, if you're just taking little scalps. Very excellent trading. Now, I'm waiting on my 300k account and the ATM. I'm setting it up in an ATM because what I do, often I miss the exit. I don't get out when I should. And setting an ATM strategy, so I'll just click on the cog here. I've set it to DAX trade. I've got a dollar value. I've got a take profit and SL, so stop loss. And I've set the take profit for 6,650. I don't want to go any more than that because that is 30% of the target for this account. So anything over 30% is basically wasted. They don't count it when you try and pass. And then the stop loss I'm setting fairly tight. I'll probably play around with this. I might set it to something like 2,000 or something like that. But just for now, I'll set it to 100. I want to be really kind of spot on with my entries, and I've got a trailing stop as well, so hopefully it'll trail up as it goes in my favor. So we'll see how that plays out. We're about to tap that. There we go. I think we're kind of maybe at a bit of a turning point here. Could go through it, and it is, but that looks like it could be you know, people trying to fade that gap there. So just be wary with the pivot there. We should come up and tap it, and then who knows, if we do get above the pivot, we've got some good rallying to go. But look, that's pretty much the move. That you know, if you didn't make enough money in that move, yeah, it is what it is. But that was kind of the play of the day. If we had have come down, and we still might come down to this yearly R2, as I suggested in that short pre-market analysis, I would potentially be looking to buy off that, obviously being wary that the market could push through it and accept under that level. But for now, we're holding above it, and we've rejected off it yesterday. We've rejected off it pre-market, obviously taking a bit of heat, but that's trading. You've got to be ready to take that heat, particularly with the yearly level. Sometimes you might get, you know, 200 points off those yearly levels, and it's been more than first touch as well, so just remember that and be mindful. Look, we are fading that gap fairly nicely. We're not quite up there at the pivot. Not too sure from here, but basically excellent trading setup. Did anybody get on it? We've got a few viewers here. Did anybody get long off that mid Bollinger Band line? I did try and actually hit buy. I don't know if you saw, while the sound was off, I went to hit buy, but then I forgot my account hasn't actually been set up yet. So a bit disappointing. I thought that this was a really good buying opportunity, so I bought an account, and they haven't created it, which, you know, I'll just refresh again, but you know, the move's done now, so it'd be quite silly of me to start trading. And there it is. So, you know, that's how it goes. But so they took about probably 10-15 minutes to actually set that account up. Usually it's much quicker, so we're fading the gap now. See how far it kind of pulls away. But I might be tempted only because, so not on the analysis, we've already had the move that I expected, but I just kind of want to have a bit of a trade. So I'm going to hit buy, and so we've got the stop loss there. Show you what the ATM does. It'll probably come down and hit that stop. But anyway, it's trailed up. That's way too tight. That's way too tight. So yeah, down 200, copped a bit of slippage as well. So it trails up. I've really got to pick the move with this ATM strategy and see if I can get some good motion and not cop too much slippage as well. So 250, copped $50 slippage there. I've really got to pick. Let's see if I can get in here. All right. Now, so this is with like, it's like 4-point stop. So super tight stop. And then the target is like 6,000. So if I can get this to kind of rally up real quick, it'll capture a good move. So I've got to be quite on the ball when it comes to this. But then on the flip side, what it's going to stop me doing is just riding these losing trades out. So a bit more slippage again. So yeah, I've made about what I've lost $75, but I've kind of I made about close to 200 back off those, I guess, initial trades. So when I'm talking about ATM, it's the ATM strategy down in the depth of market, and I'm just hitting the cog. I can set it, so ATM name, I just call it whatever I like. It can be on or off, so I can turn it off, obviously, if I want to just blind trade. And I set it to dollar value, TP and SL, maximum take profit. I don't want to go over 6,650, so I can manually close it if I want, but I don't want it to go more than that. And then the stop loss, I'm probably going to set that to 150, I think. I think that's fairly fair. Okay, and we're moving up now. See if we get another rejection up here. We have been very bearish as well, so just taking note of that. We may get another, I guess, decline. What I will be watching for is just the blind buying again, though. Often the market just loves the rally. So we'll see if we can get that. We've had a few days of just plummeting, basically. So look, it's very hard to determine what's going on here, just because we're in the middle of nowhere. Very disappointing that I missed that initial trade, but that's all right. And I'm watching the volume very closely to see. Okay, so I'm going to get stopped out again. So this is probably quite a rough way to trade, but look, I'm having a go of something different. That's yeah, I've got this problem of not closing the losing trades, and then this way with the trailing stop, I can kind of ride the quick moves. I can get out quickly, so I'm not taking too much heat, which I often do. I do it way too much. So I'm trying a new strategy. I'm on a 300k account at the moment. If we can get a nice big pullback so that I can buy in and get some indication that we're going to turn around, that's the ideal situation. So I'm just going to, and you can see as I move my mouse to the order area, you can see where the stop loss in the little outline based on the ATM, you can see where that's actually looking. So, all right, bit of a pullback. Yeah, so what happened was we faded the gap. It looked really strong, but somewhere in here I was expecting a pullback either off the close or the pivot. Happened to be in the middle, and we did have that pullback. So that's what I was kind of warning everyone about, is somebody was fading the gap. You could see it in the order flow a little bit too. So you got the 11 and 20 was bigger than some of the other orders. This looks like selling. Hopefully, maybe we'll get down to this midline. Oh, where'd we go? So we've got a new candle. We're on the 5-minute. That's on the 5-minute. Bit of a drop there. Look, I'm looking for the opportunity to hit the button again. See if we can come out of today with a little bit of a profit at least. I'll zoom in on the mini contracts as well. Sometimes it gives you a bit of evidence as to what to look for. I'm going to get in here just to have a go. We might come, damn it, might come all the way down to this midline here. So I'm just getting in and out very quickly. If the market takes off in my favor, then that's great. But I've got to be a bit quicker off the mark with all this stuff, and exit quicker. That was my biggest issue. Just waiting for the indication that we're going to turn around. We're at that mid-band line. Look, I'm going to hit it there. Ugh. It's way too tight. Way too tight. So we're down 600 on a 300k. I've got plenty of buffer there. We'll just see if I can get the right order. No, it's just way too tight. ATM, might set this to 250, say. Just give it a bit more breathing space. Obviously, I've been wrong on this whole position, but look, we're coming down. If we can come all the way down to this pivot, the yearly R2, sorry, that would be ideal, but I'm not sure we're going to actually get there. Come on. A little bit further would be just ideal. Like, this is kind of, we've broken these lows, but we're not quite at the rejection point, so it's a bit frustrating. And we're turning around. Look, I'm going to hit it again. I'll give it another go. So my max drawdown, what's the max drawdown? Max drawdown on Apex 300k. Oh, 7,500. So I'm sort of 10% down on the total max drawdown for this account right now. We've got the trailing kind of pulling up as this wick hopefully moves up. Look, we may come down and actually touch this yearly R2, but just got to see what the market is going to offer here. Look, I think I might get stopped again. Yep. It's very, it's not being very kind at all to the bullish players. Now, especially when it's not coming all the way down, I just need it to come hit this level and then see a really good rejection point. But we're just teetering on this middle of nowhere area. It's really quite frustrating. So, yeah, down $1,000 on this account. Just trying out this new DAX trade ATM strategy so I don't ride out these losers. I can go in a bit heavier. So if the market does go in my favor, I can hopefully try and hit that 30% of the total target and not sort of ride the tailwinds down the wrong way, which I have been. So, look, I don't know if this is going to get down to where I needed to get down to, but there's just not really any indication either way. So it's very frustrating, particularly when the market, they didn't give me the account when I wanted to buy from here. And anyway, the account came through late, so I am trading a little bit frustrated in essence. Missed that major move. Probably would have got out, before that gap. So when we started turning, probably around 7 points away from that close gap, I would have probably got out. I was waiting for that fade. I didn't want to risk it. But anyway, it is what it is. So just waiting for this market to get a bit of volatility, hopefully. It's very boring watching the market go up and down very subtly. You can't really make money off that easily anyway. So what are your guys' thoughts on the market anyway today? Are you expecting a bearish day or probably more of a bullish from this point right here where we're at? We've got a new candle, new 5 minutes, we're at the 15 minute. Just want to zoom in and see. Look, got to buy. Oh my God. Okay. I got faked into it. It's a new candle. I'm hoping we get a bit of traction. No. Again. No good. Okay, so potentially this ATM strategy isn't where it's at. But it's important to try things and see how they go. I was holding trades way too long. I wasn't able to get in very heavy, and then when I did, I was just doing silly plays. So that's 17 contracts there. Look, I'm going to hit it again. There's 17 or 19 contracts. That looks like a buy limit to me. So I'm hoping that is like an early indication that we're going to turn around from here, but it could be sellers coming in at the bottom there too, trying to hit this previous day, not previous day's low. I'm going to get tapped again. This is outrageous. There we go. That's definitely selling. It is what it is. Okay. All right, we've come down and tapped that finally. See if we can hold. It's unbelievably, I guess, poor executions by me. So ATM strategy is, I don't know why it's called an ATM. Like ATM is generally at the money in options, but for the purposes of what this does, it just sets a stop and target automatically when you place an order. So from that perspective, it just allows you to, man, are you kidding me? I just got stopped out again. Okay, so yeah, it basically just allows you to get in and out protected, I guess, on either side. So let's have a look. It's just setting an automatic target and stop. That's all it is. I don't know. I don't really understand why they call it an ATM. I don't know if I actually like the trailing stop. I wonder if I can maybe auto break even actually once we get to what do we got? I'm going to get stopped again for $50 here. Yeah. How frustrating. Look, I'm going to turn this off because I think this will hopefully turn around, but this might be the time when it just absolutely shoots the other way. Long this market at your own expense. What do you mean? Do you think there's some serious selling going in? Okay. All right. Now that's what I was looking for. I'm not overly keen on how that ATM was actually working. So look, I hope this is going about. So I'm going to go back into DAX trade. Hope it doesn't set from here. And I just want to change from a trailing stop. I don't want it to trail too much. I want it to what do I want it to do? Auto trail. Profit trigger. No, I don't know what the profit trigger. Look, okay. So profit trigger, I want it to go to break even at 500 euro. I want to add $50 so I'm not getting slippage too much. Okay, and then so profit trigger, I want this trailing stop to only begin at 1,000, let's say. Oh, call it 800, and then every maybe $100 will stop loss. I want it to be 800 away. Actually, no. I want it to be maybe 650 away. Okay, so what's happening here? Okay, the market's finally going in my direction. Took quite a while to actually do that. So I might watch the market. I'm going to save this and I'll explain that a little bit later. But where are we? So we got 10 contracts up there. It's very thin volume. It could turn around from this point at the midline. Look, I'm down 1,600 on this trade, so I'm going to hope that it continues up. But okay, yeah, because of all that testing on the ATM, didn't quite work out. So I'm going to maybe set a stop loss to break even. So I'm just going to put, so I'm going to left click, I think it is, or sorry, right click on the $50 just for one contract. Okay, that's my stop loss. If it comes down, hopefully I'll close out at the 50 euro. And now we're just above that level, so that's good. If that can hold and continue on, I'll be very happy. I'd just love to get probably just to break even on today, just because I was playing around with that DAX trade, setting it all up. We'll see if we can continue higher, but look, should I close that? Should I close it? Look, I'm going to leave it for now, see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to explain the ATM settings. So I've called it DAX trade, dollar value, TPSL, take profit set to 6,650. That's around 30% of the total target. So that's the 30% rule for Apex Trader funding. Got stop loss at $250. And then we've got auto break even and auto trail. So the profit trigger, we go to break even at $500 or euro, and we add $50. So there's about 450 allowed movement once that break even is in place. And then on the stop loss and profit trigger, so basically it'll start trailing once I hit $800 profit. The stop loss will be set to 650 loss, not loss, but behind where the profit is. And then the frequency, so it'll move every $100 or euros. So that's the setup. So it'll go to break even, it'll go to the stop loss, start trailing up once we hit break even. So it gives me that breathing space early on. Look, that looks like I'm probably going to get out here. What should I do? What should I do? Bit of thin volume. Look, I'm going to... Oh, okay, so I exited out of that trade. Probably could have kept going longer, but look, from a $1,600 drop to now a $25 realized, that's quite a good situation. So that's all how the ATM works. Hope that was a good explainer for you guys, and we'll catch you all tomorrow. Best of luck with your trading.